Yo, welcome to the Beast Life 24/7 podcast. My name is Christopher Lopez, your host. This is the second episode. We're going to be covering some really cool stuff today. We're going to be diving right in to help you guys become more successful in your business and in your life. But first things first, if you're watching this on YouTube, I truly appreciate it. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. There's a ton of other stuff going up on this channel, so make sure you subscribe. This way you know when I post new podcasts, post new videos, and ultimately help you guys get the most out of your day. You can also find this on SoundCloud or Anchor. So I'm on both of those streaming services as well. So check it out there. But either way, I appreciate it. Appreciate you guys listening in, tuning in, and let's dive right in. So what we're going to talk today is 3 things that you need to do to be successful. And this is in anything. This is in business. This is in training, in the gym. This is with relationships. This is anything you set out to do, any change you decide to make. You have to do these 3 things. Now, before we go any further, before I tell you what the 3 things are, there's a lot of information flying around about what you need to do to be successful. And a lot of that starts with goal setting and vision and all these other things. And all that stuff's well and good. You need that stuff, obviously. You need something to shoot for. You need some sort of benchmark or some sort of gauge to see where you're going. Obviously, you don't wander into the woods without a compass, right? So you want to make sure you have an idea of what you're going after, what you're looking to change, whether it's drop 10 pounds or start a business or grow your business or improve your relationship at home or any of these things. You need to figure out what you want first. So that's a given. That's a no-brainer. If you don't do that, then I don't know what to tell you. You really you really can't take the next step until you figure out what you want. Now, once you figure out what you want, there are 3 things that I've noticed in myself that always come up. And if you do 2 of the 3, you're not going to be successful. You're not going to be as successful as you possibly can. You need to do all 3. You can't just do 2. You can't just do 1. You have to do all 3. So the first determining factor that I see most people make when it comes to being more successful or improving their situation or improving their life is that they have to decide to do it. You have to decide that you're going to do this. From this day forward, you're going to take the next step in improving your situation. And until you decide to do it, you're going to fail. It may last for a day, a couple days. You see this all the time in the gym, right? You see this all the time with New Year's resolution people. They want to better themselves. They last like 2 weeks in the gym. It gets fucking hard, and then they stop. They stop putting their one foot in front of the other. They stop waking up at 5 a.m. to get their workout in because that's the only time they can train. They stop. They start making excuses. The excuses start trickling back in, and they wind up falling off the wagon, and it just doesn't work. And then it's everybody else's fault, and it's not their fault that they didn't succeed. It's not their fault that they didn't get where they wanted to be. But when you take that first step and truly decide what you want, you have to be all in. Like you have to decide, this is the end of the road. I have to do this. And no matter what comes your way, no matter what temptations come your way, you have to remain focused and have to stay dedicated to that decision. Now, one way to figure this out is to figure out your reason why, right? So one of the tactics we use here at the gym to help people figure out the reason why is we kind of dive a little bit deeper, and we kind of look a little bit deeper into what the reasoning why is. And a real quick tactic you guys can use to do this, it's pretty simple. You can use a piece of paper, and you do it a few times, you get pretty good at it. But you write down, get a piece of paper, write down at the top goals. You put a big underline underneath that, right? And you write down your goal. So like here at the gym, for example, where I am now, people say they want to lose 20 pounds. Okay. Well, then you ask, if you're doing this on yourself, you would ask yourself, why do I want to lose 20 pounds? To feel better. Well, why do you want to feel better? So you keep asking the question why until you reach a deeper reason. It's very, very simple. Okay? So why do you want to feel better? Well, you know, I can't keep up with my kids. I hurt all the time. My son wants to throw the football around with me. I'm out of breath, and I want to be there for him and make sure that that I'm around for him when he gets older. That's a good reason, right? Maybe somebody else's reason is because, you know, they have heart disease runs in their family, or their father died of a heart attack at the age of 50 and they don't want to die of a heart attack at the age of 50. That's a good fucking reason. So you have to make sure you are in tune with your reasons why, and then the decision making and deciding to stick with it becomes easy. All right. The second thing that determines who is going to be successful and who is not is the idea of taking action. You hear this all the time. You got to take action. You got to do something. You have to, you know, you start a project, you have to do it every day, or you have to put time into it every day. And that's a big one. And that's a no-brainer. Like, obviously, if you decide to do something but you don't do anything to make that decision happen, you know, going back to the weight loss thing, you want to drop 20 pounds, but you're not eating right. You're not taking action to go to the gym. Then it's not going to happen. And you know, it drives me nuts when people say, I'm going to do this, and then they don't do anything to get there, right? It becomes kind of like, and these are the same people that complain. They're the same people that complain when stuff doesn't happen, or they're the same people that make excuses when stuff doesn't happen. So you have to take action daily, okay? You have to take action daily. The best way to do this is to get a planner, okay? So figure out what your goal is, right? So let's say your goal is to, you know, work out every day, right? It doesn't have to be that, but that's an easy one. Work out every day. So the idea here is you get a planner. You could buy a planner, cheap one at the dollar store or wherever, Staples, wherever, it doesn't matter. You get a planner, pocket planner, doesn't have to be a big one. And what you do is you know what your goal is. So your goal is to work out every day, or your goal is to prepare your meals and eat right every day, something like that, okay? Something that you have to do daily, because daily action taking is what produces the best results. When you skip a day or you kind of fall off, it's very hard to get back on. And the idea here is that you want to keep the streak alive. So get that planner, and every day you work out. Like, you promise yourself you're going to work out every day. And I'm not saying that you got to crush yourself in the gym every day, but jump rope count. So for myself, right, I'll lift 3 to 4 times a week, and I'll jump rope or do some sort of conditioning every day. That's the promise I have to myself. So some days I work out twice. I don't have a lot of time, but I make it work because it's important to me, and it's important for me to be in shape for my daughter, right? So, and I also want to show her that nothing worth having comes easy. Like, you're going to have to work. You're going to have to put time in. Even on the days you don't want to do it, you may be hurting, you may be sore, but if you really want something, you have to put the time in. My goal going into being 34 is to be in the best shape of my life. And I've been in really good shape in the past, but I want to exceed that because it's possible. So going back to the planner, you get that planner, and what you do is every day you work out, or every day you do that daily action that you're supposed to do. You could be read for 30 minutes. Doesn't matter, right? You want to expand your mind, you read business books, 30 minutes a day. Every time you read your 30 minutes, or every time you work out daily, you put a check mark or an X on that day in the planner. Okay, now the idea here is that you don't want to break the cycle. You don't want to break the streak. If you have a planner full of X's through days, you don't want to miss one fucking day. Like, you want to keep that streak going, because if you don't, that blank space in that planner is going to sit in your mind for a long, long time. All right? So the idea here is to take daily action towards your goals. It doesn't have to be the same thing every day. You know, let's say you know, you can make this whatever you want, all right? But the gym is a given. It's an easy one, an easy example to use. So every day you work out, you put an X in that planner. And over the course of months, you have a planner full of X's. This planner should just be for this purpose. You're not going to be writing in it what you're doing. So make sure it's not like a really expensive one, all right? But to take daily action is a huge step for a lot of people, and it takes a few weeks of pushing when you don't want to do it to get in the habit of doing it. It takes a month, it takes 6 weeks to make a habit. People say it takes 28 days. Who the hell knows? Some habits are easier than others. I do know that the longer, the more you stick to something, the more you work out every day, the more it becomes part of your routine, the faster it's going to happen for you. If you work out 3 times a week, and you're supposed to work out every day, every time you miss a day, you're starting over. So you can't miss that day. So get this planner, make this part of your action plan, your taking action plan, and do this. Put the X through the days. I promise it will work. I promise it will work. The last thing you have to do, and this is a big one, is stay disciplined to do what you need to do whether you want to or not. There are days I come to the gym. I'm here all day long. I'm here all day long. And in the past, you know, there's been days I haven't worked out, you know, and people are like, well, how do you not work out? You own a gym. Because to me, this is work. So when I'm here, I'm working. And my mind is on work. It's not on working out. There's been times I actually joined another gym. Don't tell anybody. I joined another gym to get my workouts in because it was a different environment, and to me it wasn't work. I was at somebody else's place of work, so I was able to get my workouts in. So you have to stay disciplined. The biggest determining factor of success, besides the decision making and besides the taking action, is doing what you need to do. When you're tired, when you didn't get enough sleep, when you didn't eat enough, when you had a shitty day, maybe you got in a fight with your girlfriend or your spouse, you know, and you're having a rough day. You got to put that, you got to compartmentalize that somewhere, put that somewhere in your back pocket, and still do what you need to do, because life is full of that shit. Life is full of stuff that gets in the way, and you can either, you know, you can either stop and allow that barrier to kind of break the cycle for you, or kind of set you off a day, or you can just go right through that wall, right, and just knock the wall down and go through it. But you have to do that. And the most successful people are able to compartmentalize that stuff and able to put that stuff somewhere else. You have to do that, right? I read something by, I think it was Seth Godin in one of his books, and he basically says, people that run marathons, it's not like you can't, it's not like people that run marathons don't get tired, right? I'm paraphrasing. But they find some place to put the tiredness. They find some place to put it. It's impossible to run 20 some miles and not get tired. It's impossible, right? It's not human. But you have to be that person where you take that tiredness, or you take that bad day, or you take that thing that's in the way, and you put it somewhere. You put it somewhere. You have to do that, because if you don't, then your planner is going to have a big space in it, right? You're going to miss an X on one of those days, and you're going to be starting from square one. Anytime that planner has a space, the cycle is broken and you're starting over. Think of it that way. All right? But these 3 things, deciding, taking action, and staying disciplined, will take you further than anything else. Once you have the plan in place, once you have the idea of what you want to accomplish, you do these 3 things, and I promise you, you will get there faster than you ever thought possible. But you have to stick to it. You have to just stick to the decision. You can't backtrack. You can't turn around and run away. You have to stick to taking daily action, and you have to stick to staying disciplined to reach your goals. So hopefully this episode 2 helped you guys. I really appreciate you tuning in. It's been about 15 minutes or so. I'm going to wrap it up now. But again, a couple places you can find this podcast. YouTube, there's a new YouTube channel. You guys have probably seen my previous one. If you haven't, it's a training-based channel strictly for muscle building, strength training, and fat loss for men. But this one I'm doing for guys who want to take their life to the next level. So tune in on YouTube. Go check out Beast Life 24/7. You can Google it. It'll come up. And the other 2 places you can find this are SoundCloud and Anchor. All right. And last but not least, Be sure to keep checking beastlife247.com. It's not up yet, but it will soon be up. It's going to be a new blog dedicated to guys who want to take their life to the next level through training, through take their business to the next level, to help with their mindset, all these different things that I struggle with, but I've overcome, and I feel like I'm pretty relatable with screwing up and and fixing things. So that's all I got, guys. Episode 2 up on YouTube, up on Anchor, up on SoundCloud. Check out beastlife247.com when you get a chance. It will be up soon, and I'll talk to you guys in the next episode. Later.